Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Max.
And this is Movie Nostalgia, where we give you an honest review of the movies we've meddled with oh so mischievously over at Baby Movies. And this time, we're talking about Super 8. Yes, the 2011 film directed by J.J. Abrams, featuring the talents of Elle Fanning and Carl Chandler.
Co-written and produced by Spielberg as well.
Yes, so there you go.
As I was just saying to Sam a moment ago, happy anniversary, as Super 8 was 15 years old as of, I believe it was the 10th of June. We seem to have a knack for catching films on our reviews in their anniversary years.
Yeah, birthday years. Yeah, of course.
Who'd have thought it? I didn't see this one at the cinema. I wasn't working in hospitality, so I can't use that as an excuse.
That's been a lot of your background with a lot of films. Is I was working at a hotel and...
Yes, yeah, unfortunately. But no, this was after that. So I didn't see the cinema, I saw it on DVD. I think a random hire? It might have been a Netflix thing, I'm not sure. That was too soon for that, 2011?
No, Netflix was around.
Of course it was, yeah, because it started off as a video hire thing,
yeah,
didn't it?
well, it was streaming by then.
Right. So yeah, I think it was just like a Netflix watch, possibly with friends, possibly on my own, I'm not sure. And... it was one of those ones, there's something vaguely familiar about this, which has kind of coloured pretty much all of Jar Jar Abrams' career.
Jar Jar, yeah.
Yes.
Jar Jar.
And I don't know, I quite enjoyed it. You could see exactly what they were going for, what they were trying to evoke. It was a bit forgettable. I think it wasn't until I'd watched it like the second or third time that I kind of like got to the juice of it.
Myself, it's a little bit different. I saw it when it came out on Blu-ray, on DVD, shall I say. Watched it, I very much enjoyed it because of the nostalgia, the member berries that were contained in it. This is back in the time before we even had the term member berries. And that's important to remember. But over repeated viewings, I start to see more and more flaws. I mean, tonight I could not stop commenting on the lens flares that were coming from literally nowhere in the shot. It wasn't that there was lens flare, it was that the lens flare was coming from no light source.
Also, again, something you pointed out, which I must admit, because I've never really noticed it, it wasn't that much of a problem, but I did notice it a bit more after you said it. It is that they're coming from nowhere, but it's that the lens flare is in the foreground. It's overriding the shot.
Yeah, it's in front of everything.
Yeah.
The flare is the last layer in front of the audience.
Yeah.
And so it obscures faces, scenes. It's just not good. Even though they tend to stay either low or high on the frame, in this particular film, unlike some of his others, they were just too intrusive. They were distracting me from the action that was happening on scene. And I think that is a terrible mistake on Abrams' part.
Especially when there's a scene of a lot of kind of frenetic action. Even if that action is quite small, so I'm like thinking of when all the kids are sat in the diner and there's all that banter and back and forth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So much of that, unfortunately, it feels like it feels like background noise. When, if you say took that scene, which is supposed to make some of the kids' scenes from the early part of, for example, Goonies.
Yes.
And if you reframe those in the way that Spielberg, or rather that Richard Donner shot Goonies.
Yeah.
You would know all of what those little conversations were.
Yes.
Whereas here they're just layer, and you have to kind of go filing for what is actually happening.
Yeah, if we're going to make a reference back to Donner and back to Spielberg, there was a colour palette.
Yes.
Now, it's not to say that this movie is entirely colourless, but it is subdued. It's one of the earliest films to be visually subdued in terms of colour tone. Especially, off the back of watching the Goonies, I notice it. I notice it so much. The costumes are really accurate, the houses are really accurate, the cars are really accurate, but the colour...
It's just the colour.
It's not true to life, never mind to a nostalgic movie, a member-berry movie.
Yeah, this is very true. For those of you that haven't seen this is... E.T. meets the Goonies with a healthy slice of Close Encounters of the Third Kind thrown in there as well, basically. Brief synopsis. So, in the small town of Lillian, Ohio, a group of friends, 12, 13 years old, are about to embark on their summer holidays, and part of that involves making a small film. short film on an 8mm camera, and whilst filming a scene out at the local or an abandoned train station, it looks like, they are witness to what appears to be a train crash, but the train in question is a military train, and some of its cargo isn't exactly inert.
Or friendly.
All friendly, and makes a bid for escape. And then we follow how this impacts the town in the days to come.
Pretty much that, yeah.
Xadrum is more than just curious content on YouTube. We're also a small publishing house, with books covering a range of genres from 1940s pulp adventure to children's novels, and even a touch of the macabre for those who like their literature on the dark side. Our titles are available in both paperback and ebook formats. Ebooks are available on Amazon, but physical copies can only be bought exclusively through our website at xadrum.com. Jeff's got enough cash as it is, so why not help us little guys grow and thrive? Links can be found in our banner and in the description to all of our videos, and we look forward to helping you indulge your itch for escapism. There is a lot to like about this film.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I just spent the last 3 minutes complaining quite a lot about really silly things. But that's because those are the things after 15 years of watching this film, you notice the bits that are wrong and you're like, I wish you could have done something about that.
Yeah.
I don't dislike the film. I love the film and it's full of a certain kind of nostalgia, but it's also full of J.J. Abramsisms that you can't really get away from. Primarily, as you may have realised from our intro, the lens flare. You just can't get away from it. They're just being added.
I mean, having had a very brief look at the special features on it, which isn't much, it's like a 15-minute making of, but that's quite interesting because it's not just a film about those great 80s films that we love. It's also a member-berry film as well for Abrams and for a lot of his crew. Like the DOP, Larry Fong, was his neighbour, and both of them were making films on Super 8s when they were young as 8-9 years old.
Yes, I understand that Abrams was a prodigious producer of stuff when he was a very young child.
Yes, yeah. And so there was a group of them, including, as I said, him, Larry Fong. It also mentions, although I don't think he was involved in this that much, Matt Reeves.
Oh.
He was one of those guys as well, because
I didn't realise Matt Reeves was involved.
Yeah,
yes.
I said I don't know if he was involved in this production, but they were all part of a group. They were known as the Beardless Wonders, because when they were about 13, 14, they were all part of a clique making film for the indie film circuit in their area.
Like a teenage Monty Python.
Essentially, yeah.
Yes.
And they were in the paper because of that. So it's interesting to find that out, that it's as much of as a nostalgia look for him as well. But it's only something I noticed this time, really, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about it as well. It's also a film about children and their parents, but specifically it's about fathers and their children.
You know what? I see what you're saying, and I didn't think of that, but that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Which, try and find that today.
Oh, no.
It's one that, as I said, it took me a few watches to really kind of go, actually, yeah, no, this is good. This stands on its own right. It does that nice thing about anything that's supposed to be nostalgic, that it is transformative enough, You can see the roots of this in previous cinema, but it still manages to remain its own artifact, and it has its own identity.
Yeah, I mean, although I have to say for myself, I kind of came from the opposite direction. I was taken with it immediately, and it was only on later viewings that I saw its flaws. You went past the flaws to the first viewing. I went to the first viewing and went, oh, this is great, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, I start going, oh, well, this bit doesn't make much sense. So, not to say that it's a bad film. It's not. But for me personally, it was a case of loving it the first time, and then on repeated viewings, I went, oh, this bit could have been better.
And it was interesting as well, one of the guys that's in this, Riley Griffiths, who plays Charles, whose film it is that they're making.
Oh, right, yes.
And who is arguably one of the better of the child actors in the film. I mean, all the child actors do a great job, but he's one of the standouts for me.
Yeah, he has that mixture of bravado and insecurity that comes with being a child.
Yeah, exactly. And yet, when you check out on IMDb, he has 2 credits. He has this, and an episode of R.L. Stein's The Witching Hour.
Really?
And that's it.
Goodness me. apparently had a bad experience.
I'm guessing so, yeah.
He must have done.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a surprise. And a shame, because again, I'd like to have seen him in more stuff. But
He's an expressive kid.
Yeah, but yeah, do check this one out if you haven't seen it. It is a little bit forgotten because I think Abrams has gone on to do arguably bigger. Well, let's say definitely bigger. Better is up to you.
Indeed. It's a matter of opinion there, really.
It is, yes. But I mean, for me, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I'm going to say this is his best film. Because
His best film.
it's the only one of his film that doesn't feel
You've got a point there.
it doesn't feel overtly derivative. Everything else does. But you can tell this was a passion project for him, and I appreciate that. Which is why I am going to give it a solid 1.5.
You see, that's interesting. I thought I was going to be being a little bit edgy. I'm going to give it a solid 1 for the watch. It's good. It's worth your time. Watch it once. I'm going to give you a half if you're a fan of member berries. If you're a fan of member berries, you're going to get a lot more from this film. And so I'll give it the extra half of that. But anybody else, just the 1.
So it seems like, unfortunately, we have to keep rushing off. There's a lot of transport going on at the moment. A lot of transport by train, in fact.
Oh, I say.
Yes. Yeah, not so much like a big train like this one. It's a smaller train. It's actually a local one. It's kind of like an underground train, because we've got to go and meet up with 7 of our buddies and get our asses up for that big meeting that's going down in the Bronx. Can you dig it? Sorry, that's wrong. Sorry. Can you dig it?
Yes, I can. I can.
And so please, everyone, until the next time we see you, look after yourselves, look after one another, and take care.
As always, guys, TTFN.